Ladies and gentlemen, oh my god, we have ourselves a Bleach chapter review that it may piss some folks off, I don't know, but in all honesty, I listen, this Zanpakuto, alright, I mean, let me just dive right in, okay? But if you haven't seen the live reaction to the chapter, in this corner right here, annotation, as well as a link in the box below. Listen, this Zanpakuto, alright, Shiken Hakyoken, is a bona fide ass pull. Like there's no other way to say it. Okay, the Zanpakuto itself, it's an ass pull. It truly is, because it is literally a God Slayer Zanpakuto that can divide the powers of a deity into 8 pieces. So guess what? Baro has 8 wings. Oh my god, 8 pieces. KUBO, where are you going with this? I don't know. No, we fucking know. Okay, it has no blade, but it can divide the powers of a god in 8 pieces. And Baro, who I guess is the god, is gonna be bested by this thing. I mean, so not only is it convenient from the standpoint of not needing to be trained in order to use by the individual like a normal Asauchi, because in this particular family, and this is what's so weird too, like the family itself is just fucking weird, man, because you have a family where they don't have Zanpakuto, so all the Shinigami that are a part of this family never had a Zanpakuto, aside from the one that's passed down by the head of the family. This Zanpakuto, again, the Shiken Hakyoken. And yet, I remember distinctly Nimaya setting, way back when, that all of the 6,000 plus Shinigami that make up the Gote 13, that go to the academy and whatnot, they all have Asauchi that they gotta spend their time with, that they have to imprint their soul with into that Asauchi. So what? Does this family not go to the academy? Dude, because Nanao's a fucking lieutenant, for Christ. She's a lieutenant in the Gote 13. And you're telling me that the entire time she never had a Zanpakuto. That Nimaya was apparently wrong. Like that Nimaya apparently did not factor in the Issei family, where they're all chicks and their entire family is cursed with some random curse, which honestly is irrelevant. It's an irrelevant factor in this whole thing, and they just so happen to be cursed. Ooh, boogie, 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 Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Like, no, what? Like, what the fuck? They don't need to be cursed for shit, but they're cursed. And on top of this curse, the Zanpakuto itself, which apparently dishes out this curse, is either in a constant Shikai or a constant Bankai form, not needing any training whatsoever to utilize, apparently. And on top of that, it is designed specifically for God Slayer. So, if Baro is perceived to be a god, that means Yuha can be considered a god too. What actually constitutes a god in Bleach? Fuck if I know. But that means that Yuha could possibly be bested by this Zanpakuto. Like, it's Looney Tune status. Like, what the fuck? There's straight foolery with this. Like, it is amazing. And now, there were a few things that were fascinating. Like, you had, for example, apparently, Katen, Flower, gave, according to Manga Stream, you know what, let me find because I have some pages saved up because I have to read the exact quote for you. It's fascinating. So, when they're talking about, so Nanao assumes that Kyoko is her Zanpakuto. And then, Chaku says, well, yes, but that's not exactly all there is to it. You see, Flower, Katen, gave birth to Lunatic, Kyoko. Katen gave birth. Katen gave birth to Kyokotsu in order to hide your Zanpakuto. This was done at your mother's behest. So, not only do we have a funky family where they're all chicks, but they're all cursed via this god-slaying Zanpakuto, and the sister, the half-sister, if you would, or the the sister of Kyoraku, who was his brother's wife, who left the family to go back to the Issei family, requested that Kyoko to be created. Therefore, Katen gave birth to Kyokotu for the sole purpose of playing hide and seek with the god-slaying Zanpakuto. In order to... So what? Like, the Issei family allowed for this shit to happen? Like what? The Issei family, which has only one Zanpakuto, allowed for her brother, quote-unquote, the uncle of Nanao, to hide their sacred god-slaying Shinto Zanpakuto, and they said, okay, like, that's cool, that's fine with us. I mean, this, I think, is just classic Bleach in many ways, because we are getting far more questions than we are answers. And it is bugging the shit out of me. Like, once again, KUBO, he answers a question with a billion other questions. And you're like, oh my god. What the fuck, KUBO? Like... And not only that, not only all this stuff, but you have to understand that when it comes to this whole thing about the initial, like, hidden thing that they now had, and how there was a picture of her actually holding a sword. I actually went back and I researched it. I actually researched this. There was a picture of Nanao holding a sword, a color artwork that KUBO made. KUBO goes back on that and says, fuck that shit. And then he adds in this whole thing, which was not hinted in the slightest. Understand that this whole thing about the Issei family being full of chicks and how they had one Zanpakuto, mind you, there's no way you consider that it was hinted when you had someone like Nimaya state that every person that is a part of the Goche 13 has a Zanpakuto. All 6,000 plus members have Asauchi, but apparently he didn't know about Nanao. Apparently he didn't know about the Issei family. That's crazy. This is nuts. No. And you could maybe exclude all of this. Maybe you could exclude all of that involving the Issei family, involving the Asauchi and the Zanpakuto, involving the curse, and whatnot and whatnot. But what you cannot excuse, I'm sorry, but you can't do it. What you cannot excuse from this chapter is the fantastic convenience of the Zanpakuto itself, wherein which it is designed specifically to slay gods, because apparently the Issei family is a Shinto priestess family, and it can divide the powers of these gods into 8 pieces, which apparently Baro has 8 wings, which would then be like his power scheme, if you would. And no Bankai or Shikai training needed. So, like, what's going to happen? Is the Zanpakuto going to talk to Nanao like, hey, Nanao, what's up? Yeah, so your sister, or well, your mother wielded me beforehand. Now it's your turn. And guess what? I'm going to give you all my power. You're going to learn all this shit in an instant. And you're good to go. Whereas other Shinigami had to go through arduous training from the ground up. From the ground up. Asauchi up. You? Nah, fuck that shit. We skipping all that shit. Yeah. No. I'm fucking sorry. No. Fuck no. No. You can excuse everything else if you really wanted to be lenient. But you can't excuse that. I'm sorry. You just can't. No fucking way. The only good part about this chapter is the pacing, because the story does move fairly nicely along given the information at hand, and they're now facing off against Barrow. But that being said, it's not enough to save the chapter. And by the way, the one thing with Barrow and the fucking owl head going like UFO on me, I'm done. Alright, I'm done with Barrow. He's the last black guy in Bleach. I'm done with that. The chaptering overall, honestly, I think it's a bad chapter. I think it's a bad chapter. I really do. Okay? The Zanpakuto is just too goddamn convenient. That is a crucial flaw in this chapter. That is too convenient for this particular, not only for this one entity, Barrow, but upcoming entities like Yuha. Way too convenient. Way too convenient. I'm sorry. No. That by itself makes the chapter subpar in of itself. Let alone the other stuff in the chapter. So, I'll be lenient, say bad plus. But that's it. I'm done. So, King of Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. You can bring on the hate. It's fucking fine. Alright? No problems with that. But it's clearly obvious to many people, including myself, that KUBO reached into a dark and dirty place to bring forth this Zanpakuto. A place where no hand should be. So, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day. It's been a long time since the King of Lightning had to give Bleach a bad rating. But no. No. I let it slide. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Have a nice goddamn day.